Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Deadmano and today I have some exciting news regarding some much needed quality of life changes that will be making their way to us in Module 24, Return to the Underdark. As a collections connoisseur, it would be remiss of me not to bring up the search bar as the first and most prominent quality of life change that has made its way to us thus far. Yes, you heard me correctly. After many years, we are finally getting a search bar for our inventory, as well as for other elements as well. Gone are the days of losing items in and amongst your various trinkets. Let me go ahead and demonstrate to you. Let's say I'm looking for a potion, perhaps it'll be a flask of potency. I could just go in and type flask, and would you look at that? I could find them so easily. Or maybe I'm looking for an artifact. Maybe I'm looking for a charm. Let me go and search for that. I can find charm, which is charm of the serpent. It also brings up dragon bone charm because it has charm in its name. So it is really useful and cool to be able to find those items. Maybe you have a mess like my inventory and you can't seem to find anything. Well, the search bar comes to the rescue. Not only that, but we also get some nifty filters. And over here, you're able to have a much more expanded filter experience than what we had in the past. For example, if I just want to find companions and accessories, I could just tap this over here, and it now will only show me either companions or accessories for companions. Or I could do mounts and accessories. I can also see refinement items only that can be upgraded. So it's pretty handy, and I'm sure you'll make the most of it when the time comes. So let me just go ahead and take that off. But the inventory is not the only place that search bars have made an appearance. If we come on over to our companions tab and we go through this list of companions, you're able to actually search for a companion. So let's say you have a Zuna that you're looking for, or a Cold Iron Warrior, or even a Black Dragon Ironstone. You're able to find those, or anything that has the word in its search term. I would love to see this expanded so we can actually search for ratings. I think that would be super useful when you're looking for something that gives you power or defense and such that you would want to slot in. But you know what, if you don't have it favorited or it's not already at a mythic quality, it could be nice to find those niche companions. But let us turn our attention back to the inventory, because we're not done there. Not only do we have the ability to search the inventory and have filters, but as a antiquities appreciator, there are a few ways to better manage our bags. First off, we can now finally drag and drop bags across different slots. It is crazy. Would you look at that? You could just go ahead and take any bag and just drag and drop it. Whereas before you couldn't do that because you needed to empty them out. And as you can see, some new collections are being triggered as a result of that. But how cool is that? Remember the good old times where we first had to clear up space, unequip the bag, and then only be able to make the change? But wait, there's more. This next bit might just blow your mind. The wonderful persons at Cryptic have added in a feature that will let you actually upgrade your bags, transferring your items to the larger bag. So if we come on down here, I have a runic bag of holding, as you can see, and it doesn't have a lot of space compared to the new 60 slot bags, right? Well, if we just click on this icon here, and we go to the new bag management section, and we go down to the bottom, you can see my 36 slot bag. I can click on replace bag, and I could choose a larger inventory slot bag, or I could buy one from the Zen store if there was one. In this case, we're going to take the 60 slot mythic bag, go ahead and swap that out, and just like that, all the items that were in the runic bag have now been transferred to the bigger bag, and we have the increased storage space. That just blows my mind. As someone who has had to manually upgrade all of these bags every time that there's been an increase, and trust me, my bags have always been full. This is a huge quality of life because you don't have to go and empty them out anymore. You don't have to go through that whole stress and figure out where you're going to move. You just straight up in place, upgrade, you're done. And then it niftily just slots it out for us to, you know, do who knows what with. I don't know if Cryptic has a plan for that, you know, maybe a special means to deconstruct bags for upgrades, hint hint. On the topic of 1x1, we are now also able to control plus click to select multiple items. Look at this. If I'm holding down control and I left click, I can select multiple items and then I can drag said multiple items not just between bags but to other bags as well. How crazy is that? So let's say I want this Lost Mod's Horn of Lasting. I would also like my Visage of the Moon. I would also like this Tomb of my Leaky. And I would like the Shambling Mound Moss for no good reason other than the fact that I want to showcase how amazing that is. It blows my mind. It also has smart sorting, in which if you had to select multiple items and you selected starting point like over here, it will filter out the items and store them in the first empty slots that it finds. Look at that. It's literally black magic. I love it. It is amazing. And you're also able to do that by simply selecting an item and mousing it over a bag as well. Same functionality exists. And what's also cool, if you store it in the original bag that cannot be upgraded or moved, it will magically sort things to wherever they can be stored, which is another cool thing that you can do. Now, with all of this in place, let's see what kind of organization we can bring to the mess that is at my inventory. I've always wanted this to be the consumables bag, but you know, as time has gone on and having to make space, it's been really hard to maintain because, you know, I really want to play the game. I don't want to play inventory management simulator. If you go and click on bag management, it will bring up a new UI, and this thing just blows my mind. What it allows you to do is name your bags. So I can go and have consumables there, I can have gear here, I can have like random trinkets, and you can actually set a bag preference. So you can decide what items get placed where. So for example, for consumables, I'd want consumables to go there. Gear, things I can equip can go in the gear one. Random trinkets, you know, can have things like, it could be refinement, or it could be like treasure, for example. And as you can see, based off of all the different preferred items, you can have individual bags having specific items and no longer have your bags cluttered. And then your, you know, starting default bag can have no preference, so then all new items get put in there and you can manually choose to filter it, or you know, you can choose to have only select items there and the rest of your bags will take over when it comes to them being organized and sorted. I think this is a wonderful change, and from here you can also drag and drop the bags just like you can in the inventory. So there's so many options, and this is by far the most exciting one. Now, remember the awesome search bar that we had? It's not just for the inventory. It applies to the guild bank, it applies to your personal bank, it applies to your shared bank, and other sections as well. Like the keys segment, let's say you were looking for, I know, a fishing rod. Just like that, I can find my ash fishing rod. For you crafters out there, you're going to be super excited with this one. If I just go and filter by an item, I can now find these things. If I'm looking for a specific tool, let's say an axe, that will show up as well. And you can apply the same search functionality to vanity pets as well as fashion items. So if you're looking for a certain vanity that you want to summon, you're able to do that now. It also has a cool little bar over here that you can just drag and drop it into. So let's say I want this Triceratops, I can just drag it, slotted in there. It's got its own little slot now. And it's really cool. Shows you what the summon is. On top of that, some of you might have run out of space. I know I did. They've now increased the cap from 80 to 100. So we can have 100 vanity pets. And that's a good thing because they've just given us a whole lot more in this upcoming module. But wait, that's not the only thing. Because speaking of fashion, if you head on over to the Wondrous Bazaar
diamonds to trade?
And you go to the main tab, you might see a new item here. That's right. Appearance library slots. I have been waiting for this one for literal months. With the amount of items that they have given us time and time again, and having to hold on to the campaign transmutes without being able to, well, transmute them, we don't have to fret anymore. Because with this change, we'll be able to increase our vanity storage from 100 slots up to a new max of 200. So let me go ahead and buy some of these. You don't use them, you just buy it and it automatically applies. So that's about 4 of them. I should have 20 more storage. So let's go to appearance now. And if we go to weapon, for example, that I know I capped out on, was very close to it. You can see I have 120. That applies to all the different slots as well. And it even applies to fashion. How cool is that? I think that is going to be amazing. I won't have to stress and worry about what I should transmute, what I shouldn't. If it looks good and it's half decent, I can just go ahead and make it happen. I'm so thankful to whoever actioned that. Thank you. But what good is the ability to organize and store items if we can't easily keep track of our farming? Enter the currency pinning, a sleek and modern UI addition that allows you to pin up to 3 of any currency. Now you can easily see how many dragon materials you still need at a quick glance. Would you look at that? And you can mouse over them too, so you can see I've got dragon ridges here, I've got dragon's claw. All of that can be added, and it applies to pretty much anything that is considered a currency. So for whatever reason, you know, maybe you would want to see how many Reaper's marks you have, you can go ahead and click that. Maybe you want to see how many lost idols you have, and some Zariel's favors, because you know you want to keep track how close you are to 20k. There you go. It's right there. You can position it, reorganize it through the UI editor. Just go to the rearrange HUD option and you just move around the pinned currencies to wherever you would like. I think that's a really nice feature, and you know, at a quick glance you just have a look at what your count is and you're good to go. And while we're on the hunt for information, that is, the in-game homepage has gotten a facelift, showcasing salient information such as the current battle pass, latest news, upcoming events in a more pleasing manner. And last but not least, for all you high DPS players out there, item level is now shown on the character select screen for each of your characters. Now you can truly revel in awe of your accomplishments upon each login. Honestly, I am beyond excited for these much needed quality of life changes, and I am extremely thankful to each and every individual at Cryptic Studios for making this possible. I know it has been my wish list as well as many others for quite some time, and it is good to see that they are adding that in addition to new content which we're going to be getting with the release of Module 24. I cannot wait for that day, and I hope I will see you guys exploring Underdark and enjoying all these wonderful new changes. Please do keep in mind that all of this is still in a preview phase and may be subject to change. Until next time, much love and bye for now.